Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we are going to be talking about some very, very big news coming out of the LCS rumor scene, the offseason. It's officially heating up, but before we get into that, make sure you guys do drop a like on this video. I would appreciate it a ton. And consider checking out the first link in the description below for my Twitch stream. I am starting to stream more and more over on Twitch. It is something that I really want to get into, start growing, and really putting a lot of time and effort into it. So I'd appreciate you guys dropping a follow over there, maybe even dropping a prime. With that being said, let's get right into this one. We had some very, very big news coming out today. We actually had a lot of different stories coming out today. I don't know when exactly this YouTube video will be uploaded, but you know, the day that all this stuff came out, a lot of stuff came out. October 20th. One of the big stories was from Robert Sorensen Haynes at thegamehouse.com. He is a guy that we didn't really see much of last offseason. At least I didn't. Maybe he was doing stuff last offseason. I'm not really sure. I don't know a ton about him, but he has been reaching out to me recently. I think I'm going to be going on his podcast, doing some stuff like that. Seems like a nice guy. But again, people have asked me how reliable he is, how credible is he as a source. I'm honestly not entirely sure, and I've told a lot of other people, time will tell. We will find out this offseason just how good his sources are, just how good his rumors are. But with everything, always take it with a grain of salt, and just know, just because he's saying something could happen or something's expected to happen, doesn't necessarily mean it's 100% done, doesn't necessarily mean it will happen. But he is saying here, sources are telling him that Tactical is expected to be off of Team Liquid. Now, that is very, very interesting. That is not very surprising, not shocking. This is something that I have been talking about for the past couple of months, and obviously I did quote his tweet and say, I'm down here. I said, don't want to say I've been telling you this for months, but I've been telling you this for months, because if you look back on my channel, I'm pretty sure like after, or probably during the LCS playoffs, probably, I started making videos about how Tactical could be gone from Liquid next season. One of the main reasons for this is that CoreJJ is expected or rumored to be getting his green card in this coming offseason, which means that Team Liquid, if that all does work out, will likely have an import slot open. And they have a very, very good top laner in Alphari. They have a good mid laner in Jensen. They have a good support in CoreJJ. Santorin's having some health issues. Maybe he's been a little bit shaky, but when he's been healthy, he's been very good. And Tactical, he's good for an NA AD carry. He's one of the best North American, one of the best domestic AD carries. But if TL has an import slot open, we know they like importing. We know a lot of the LCS owners are pushing for more and more import slots, want the import rules to be removed entirely. These are guys that, when they have import slots, they like to use them, especially if it's at an upgradable position. And this was before Worlds. Now, after Worlds, as soon as Team Liquid got eliminated, I was talking about this, saying that, yeah, I will not be surprised at all if Tactical gets kicked. He was clearly the team's, at least in my opinion, was clearly the team's weakest point at Worlds. Not that he was bad. He did fine. Team Liquid won 3 games. They were very, very close to winning their group. But he did have some big mistakes. He had some underwhelming games. And had he been a bit better, Team Liquid could have won just a single more game, been the #1 seed in their group, and maybe had a pretty easy track to a semi-final. I mean, there's not an easy track, but there's a world where they're matching up against Cloud9. There's a world where they're matching up against Mad Lions. There's a world, where they're matching up against some Chinese teams that were a little bit underwhelming. If they just won one single more game, they could be playing in the semifinals right now. And again, that's so many what ifs. That's so much, like mental gymnastics to get to that point. But they're not that far off from that. And I think Tactical is upgradable, and if they had a little bit upgrade, they had a little bit more consistency, they had a little bit more of a carry threat in the AD carry position, Tactical jumping into the fog of war, I think it was in their very last game, having the very, very underwhelming Aphelios game against Mad Lions in the second round robin. He's a guy who they could definitely import someone in for. Now, who exactly will this import be? I don't exactly know, and that's where, a lot of the other rumors and speculation stuff are going to come in. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I know that some of the main names are going to be thrown around is going to be Deft. That is someone that people are going to be talking about a lot. It could happen. It'll be interesting. Who knows if he wants to pair up with CoreJJ. There's going to be people who say Doggo. Very possible. Very interesting. Don't know how likely it is. Reckless is for sure going to be a name that's thrown around. I'm sure there'll be some other EU AD carries thrown in there as well because there's a ton of good European AD carries. Maybe there'll even be some other Chinese AD carries thrown in there or Korean AD carries to maybe pair up with Core JJ. I don't exactly know, but that is definitely what will be thrown around. On the opposite side, obviously, Tactical needs somewhere to go. There's been some people who are saying, oh, Cloud9 Tactical, and I don't necessarily see that. There was a point where I thought that Cloud9 was going to be importing their jungle, and Cloud9 still could. Cloud9 could go with, could try and go with like Razork or somebody like that. But, now that Cloud9 Selfmade isn't happening, Cloud9 Jankos isn't happening, I think it's much more likely that they keep Blabber. They're at least making it to the quarterfinals at Worlds. Blabber has had a pretty good performance at Worlds. So I don't think it's going to be likely they're going to need to import. They already have Fudge, who's pretty good. They have Perks, who's pretty good. They have Vulcan, who's pretty good. They could keep Sven if they wanted. And if they don't want to keep Sven, it would probably more likely to me to be to, import a big name AD carry, like a Reckless, like a Doggo, one of these guys, more so than going out and getting Tactical, who is probably a side grade to Sven, maybe even a downgrade from Sven. I don't know exactly, but the players are at least comparable, so I don't really see why that would make much sense. As far as where Tactical ends up, yeah, maybe Cloud9. I doubt Cloud9. I think that'd be kind of weird. TSM, I think, is much more likely than Cloud9 because Tactical would actually be a pretty clear upgrade over Lost. This would then allow TSM to maybe import in the top lane as well as support if they did want to do that. This is if TSM isn't able to get Reckless, isn't able to get Doggo, isn't able to get, one of these other big name AD carries like Quan Fang or something. If they ended up with Tactical in the end, if he was the last person available, I don't think that would be the end of the world, and I think TSM would still be willing to get him. And again, it really, really helps out that he is a domestic AD carry, and he's not bad. He's pretty good. He's better than Lost. So maybe TSM Tactical could be an option. And then you have like all the bottom teams. There's so many of the mid-tier and bottom-tier teams in the LCS that Tactical would be an improvement for. It would be a shame to see him end up on a team like that after, he has all this championship experience and international experience and stuff from Team Liquid, but the LCS is becoming pretty good. The LCS is actually becoming pretty loaded, pretty stacked, with like top name talent. It's hard to get on one of these couple good teams. Who knows? Tactical could end up on a lower tier team, which would be kind of crazy. There is also some other rumors going around with Team Liquid. I know there is some rumors that Team Liquid is potentially interested in Razork. Pretty sure that Robert Haynes had another rumor regarding Team Liquid that maybe one of their big name players is interested in leaving. Obviously, people are going to, he said here a big name from Team Liquid potentially wants to leave. People are going to point towards Alphari there, obviously, but it could be Santorin. If they're saying they're interested in Razork, it could be Santorin. It could be Core JJ. It could be Jensen. I don't know. Team Liquid has gone 3-3, and they keep going 3-3 no matter how many changes and choices and everything they make every offseason. I don't exactly know. And he says he doesn't know either at this point. But, just know that there's a lot of different Team Liquid rumors going around. There is a lot of speculation in the air. Worlds is almost over. Offseason's heating up. I don't know what exactly is going to happen this offseason, but it's shaping up to be a crazy one. I don't know if there'll be as insane moves as Caps going to G2 or Perks going to C9 or anything like that. But it seems like we're going to have a high volume of moves. Seems like there's going to be a ton of moving parts. And I'm really, really excited to cover it all. So, pretty much it was this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Who do you think Team Liquid's AD carry in 2022 is going to be? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Consider checking me out at Twitch, twitch.tv/I_am_germ. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.